Speed spec is very good. I would say rank this pack maybe like a 8 out of 10 even. At least. I mean, you have the perfect units, and speed is something that our tanks will need a lot of because we don't have mech rage. Mech rage makes the tanks go a little bit too fast. I had a game where there was a bit of a tank mirror and the guy clicked mech rage and we didn't click it, and I had no text on my tanks and I still won the mirror. So the mech rage, the attack bonus is the nerf is really just way too sad. So we'll just build more chaff here because we know that there's probably going to be a situation where, you know, we're going to be needing it. And I do like to click underground threat now. I would even put these a little bit even further up because if you look at the, you know, if he's position aggro, this isn't going to get in front fast enough. So I would even go like this. It's dependent if he's going to go aggro or not. He probably is based on his units. See? So what we're trying to see is, does this get in front? If there's a melter here, does this get in front? Just barely. So you could even go even more forward there. That was a little bit too conservative. And we don't play fangs anymore because if we go link sledge, you don't need the fangs. Just go underground threat. And you get a lot of value since all your chaff is one unit. Don't know who wins this. Looks like he's winning this. He's got the item, that's why. Okay, it's gonna be a skip. I think I want to keep everything. So one more crawler, one more these guys, two more crawlers. Like this would just guarantee that we're gonna get we're gonna get through. I do this to get another layer of chaff. If you put it here, it might get pulled, so I might just put it here. I'm not an expert with chaff positioning, but I feel like we need to you know, this is the time to get better at it, to practice. Doesn't feel right putting it all the way up there, so I'll just give it 2 spaces, but who knows, that this may not be enough. Okay, so still no need for alarm at this point. He's obviously going to click HE in range, but we will have underground threat. Does mean you have to level up the crawler, but it's probably a small price to pay for the amount of chaff value you get. This will even start to counter melters. Okay, so I don't know if the melter actually will lock on. It's so close. I mean, it works for the tarantula because the tarantula range isn't that high, but I have a feeling like, you know, if the melters come out here, we might be in some trouble with the chaff placement. It might be too far away or too far back. Let's get a free tarantula here if possible. Nope. Oh yeah, will. Okay, there we go. So just a little chip damage, doesn't matter too much. We're still doing fine. I think I go for the Phantom Ray regardless here because you need the Phantom Ray for tanking. I would also put it pretty far up because the whole point of this is to tank. Yes, it doesn't seem smart here, but the whole point of this is to get in front of the melter. So yeah, I mean, it looks like really stupid placement, but it's, you know, I hate it as much as anyone hates it, but just it is the way it is here. Since we're trying to, since we're going link sledge, right? That's our plan. And the thing is, if he has, you know, if he has like, this should even be here because your wasp would probably be here on this line. But I'll just say just because we have the crawler, we might be able to put the wasp one line back. I don't know actually. I think I still have to put it here, but there's no space for the wasp really here. Like you got to, you know, we should have made a 5-part gap, so we might as well just do this. Again, I don't know if this is correct. In retrospect, I would have the wasp line here. Okay, he's got range. HE's coming soon. He one-shots everything with HE, but then with underground, he no longer one-shots it. Phantom rays just die super quick, but that's the whole point. They weren't supposed to survive. Now we need the link, obviously, because our front line is just falling apart. Mass-produced Scorpion is scary, is extremely scary, but he might be under the impression that he's kind of doing extremely well here. I might sell this just so I can go for the link. We desperately need something. I might even missile him. But the missile doesn't do that much, so I might just skip. Save what money we have. Okay. Makes perfect sense. And this is the surprise round. I could have sold the Phantom Ray earlier, actually. You know, you don't need the Phantom Ray. I think that's something I didn't really consider. If I needed the Phantom Ray, yes, it does need to be forward. But if I don't need the Phantom Ray, then I should just sell it. Right? We get it unlocked. I was just thinking, you know, the more Phantom Rays, the better. The earlier you set up your air army, the better. But not necessarily. We will go with Wasp first, because we are expecting a melter. You shouldn't be able to kill anything, any of these tanks. Obviously, you know, there's nothing you can do here, but he's thinking, oh man, if I could just get one melter behind this, I'm just going to win the game. Which is partially true, and it's our goal to prevent that from happening. So these are the games that build the skill, where you need multiple rounds to ensure that you can win. I think I'll go for my own fire first. I think I want underground threat, but I feel like the fire is just not gonna exactly work so well in this situation immediately. I'll probably go range as my first tech. Yep, it's not ground spec anymore, it's range. The reasoning behind that is because range is better as a carry tech. If you go ground spec right away, it's a cheese tech. You might get in a situation where you need range. You're gonna be in trouble. Let's say I sell this. What do I get? I can go for range right away, or I could go for underground threat. I might just go for underground threat here. Like the range is good, but it's not quite necessary yet. Might want to missile this though, because this is the only thing that can kind of hurt us. Temp speed is interesting, but I could wait. And look at this. As predicted, a melter. He's got the Farseer, which is going to be problematic, but now he's got a little bit of a link. Well, more than a little bit of a link. He actually destroyed everything. So this is not good. This is not good. I think our plan is just more. I don't know what our plan is now. Supposedly he's going to go for the Typhoon. We have to assume that. Go for the cell. Now we can put Phantom Rays in front. The Typhoon, you know, could go level 2, we could go level 1, but we will need armor. Probably we can afford level 2 with armor. This is exactly designed to counter the Typhoon. I can go range here, so this sits behind. Yeah, I definitely need a borrow now. Probably go for the speed. Probably just go for this. Another missile here. Okay, so it wasn't the Typhoon necessarily, it was actually ranged Mustang, but it's the same thing. You can argue that you don't need level 2 Phantom Ray. You know, the level 2 Wasp would have been more helpful, but you know, when you're dealing with armor, having the higher level is probably pretty good. Opponent's playing very smart. He only needs 1 melting point. I feel like if I could win this, I would be, you know, I would be really, I would have almost mastered this strategy, because this is not a good situation for us. If you look at that last round, I would say 90% chance he's going to win. If somehow we can win, given this situation, I would be very, very shocked. And you can see here, this is why we don't have ground spec anymore on the Wasp. The Phantom Rays are basically our ground spec. Now, once the last Phantom Ray drops, then the, you know, then the hammer's going to come down. All of our units are going to jump in. Look at this. So, did we outrange? What is the range? So the Wasps outranged the problem with the range is that the Wasps outrange the tanks now. You see? So it's kind of a problem. I thought I needed range because, you know, you needed range to outrange your own Phantom Ray, but I don't think that's necessarily valid here. At this point, I think it's just more Phantom Rays. I might even go for this. Which is interesting. Like, you need range on this to outrange the Phantom Ray. Otherwise, if it goes in front, there's no point in it tanking. Unless somehow everything locks on. But, okay. We're learning as we go here. These guys still did a lot of damage. Well, this guy did. I almost want a burst mode or something so I could just burst through. But it might just be better to just keep going for more Phantom Rays. And I think you definitely want to upgrade these guys. Probably going to be a shield, so I might just go for the attack upgrade. Perhaps armor is better, because, but I think attack's perfectly fine. See, he doesn't even think that we're playing seriously. We are playing so serious. He has no idea how serious we are about this. He thinks this is, yeah, because the reason why is because this is not what high MMR players do. Right, but we are actually trying to beat the best in the world with this absolutely crazy strategy, and it has been working for the most part. Like, our current record is like, you know, 6-7 wins, 1 loss, right? So, you know, we're gonna lose here, but I feel like, you know, we can examine why we lost. Right, and then maybe had to do something with this Wasp range. Okay, so this is the round where we went for the Phantom Ray, because we correctly predicted there was going to be Mustangs behind, and you know, we might just have went, maybe all we need is level 1 Phantom Rays, right? Because they do the same thing. Maybe they need to be closer together to where the melting point is, right? Maybe we don't need range. Well, if you don't have range, it doesn't do that much. Maybe I upgrade this. Maybe I click range here. might have. Probably should have went level 2 on the wasp when I first recruited that. That's one thing I'm thinking, but not quite sure. Let's just try this. Maybe the speed wasn't a good idea, or I mean, the thing is, the Phantom Rays, they're not doing that much because the I mean, they're doing something. They're doing something. I think the range might have been a mistake, but it's kind of hard to win here, I feel. Why is this already a checkmate is the question. Do I need to bring back? Feels like I played this correctly, but I mean, does he have he even has a tarantula with the DAA, so we were in pretty big trouble, I think. This whole round. Maybe I just go for, maybe I just do this. And like, do I ever go for drilling claw or something? Let's see what this does, if anything. Mustangs do lock on immediately to the Wasp. But there's quite a lot of crawlers coming in. They might be able to kill the tarantula because they are double teched. But nope, it's not enough. Boy, oh boy, this is bad. Makes me want to get ground spec again. Can't believe the Phantom Ray didn't work. Let's say we go for Phantom Ray, but we don't go for the range. So we'll go for armor. Let's position this like this. Go for the armor. Maybe it's not even the armor. Maybe we need the burst real quick because we're trying to burst down the units. And we'll go for the temp range. Maybe this is what we need. We'll one-shot the tarantulas, which is a huge deal. Now he doesn't have chaff clear. Maybe it's just burst. Maybe that's all we need is burst. It looks like this is doing way better than before. Look at this. So it's burst. Okay. It's burst. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. And you do like insane amounts of damage. So we never know that if we can win the game from here, but the point is you do damage. 1500 damage. Right? And the damage is what counts. Why don't we just go only burst? What happens if we go only burst? Okay, we are learning about how to play. This is a crazy spot for us. You see how hard this is. This is like most of our games are just like a free wins, but this is not a free win. Right? And if you're able to win these kind of games where it's like it's not a free win, you can beat the best in the world with this. So you don't want range because then you outrange the your own stuff here. Can go for speed, no problem. Could go EMP, could go aerial spec, could go shield. Shield could be interesting. EMP could be interesting. Don't think we need EMP, but could just go for armor, but feels kind of bad for that. I'll upgrade this. Maybe I go for drilling claw. Yeah, maybe I go for drilling claw. punishing him for his very exploitative positioning. One shot, one kill. The Phantom Rays are still all over here because we're just trying to kill his melting point. Everything after that dies, we win. This melting point though is very far protected. It looks like you don't even need the armor. You don't even need the armor if you have level 2. All you need is the burst. We're gonna take a look and see if the drilling claws did anything, because I'm not sure if it did. Okay, 2,000 damage. So the drilling claws did nothing. 3,000. Drilling claws did nothing. So you put that money, you do 1667, you put that money into... I don't think you want to range the wasp necessarily, because you know, you don't want to outrange the tank. So why don't we, knowing that the most important thing is burst, let's see what we do with our extra money. Like I can even do this. I mean, the thing is, you just want to kill. As much as I want to split them, you just want to kill the melter, I think. I could just do this. So I have a little bit more HP now on the Phantom Rays. Now the wasps are actually acting as chaff for the Phantom Ray into the Farseer, so you don't necessarily want range every time. Like as scary as the Mustangs are, his main DPS is the Farseer. So you actually want, you know, sometimes you think you want the Phantom Ray to... I was thinking the Phantom Ray needed to tank, so we do a little bit more damage there. I was thinking the Phantom Ray needed to tank for the Wasp, but now it's actually the Wasp needs to tank for the Phantom Ray. And then the Phantom Ray is tanking for the tanks. So it's a very sophisticated system here. Okay, so we did this. We lost, right? Because we went for the wrong tech and we went for the range. We lost 600. And now, can we still win by going for the burst? Probably makes sense to click this, you know, just because, you know, our Phantom Rays, you know, they're gonna need support. What do I sell out of though? Okay, so we click burst. Get another one. Try to put as many as we can in this area. Some of them will have to go here, but I think we could still do this. Sell the gun probably. And okay, I might just go for an armor. It's probably okay. Second melting point comes out. Let's see if this is going to work as well as it did in that first round. So he survives the first burst, which is not good. This tells me that we should have went for the attack upgrade. And who knows? Like, we actually might still win this round. If we could win this round, then we know that this is still possible. There's still hope in this strategy. I think this is a matter of, I mean, we shouldn't have clicked range, right? So we already lost a lot of resources there. But I think this is a matter of not going for the attack, because you could see that we would have had enough to one-shot the spider, which is very, very important with how everything's going here. So we need the burst, right? So burst is 400. Burst is very cheap. Okay, so we have the attack upgrade. That's the only difference than the last playthrough. And let's see if that makes big enough of a difference, because once this is gone, then the chaff gets cleared by the tanks, right? Everything is working in perfect harmony. like a symphony orchestra. Everything is perfectly layered. Look at this layering. Phantom Ray, Wasp, and tank. It's actually the... Yeah, well, it would even be better if the Wasp went in front. See, so that's where we messed up. Alright, so I don't think we can do any better there because we just chose the wrong tech. Okay, I think we learned a lot there. Mustangs, you know, how much did these guys do? The Wasps did a bit. Do I have to, so they didn't do that well in this situation for some reason. Maybe the aerial spec Farseer. So you probably want the Wasp to go forward. They need to be close together. All right. Do we ever put back the ground spec is the question. You know? You need this for the EMP, but maybe the burst takes care of the melting points. But if he has suck or something, he might need to EMP them. That's the only thing I'm thinking. I could also consider EMP on the sledge, but then you need range and AP to kind of get things to work. All right, I'm pretty happy about our lesson we learned there.